Okay, wow. I have so many words. First off, 3 a.m. on a Wednesday, that's my Super Bowl. I already know the episodes drop, and I always tell myself, just one before work. But no, every single time I do this to myself, I end up full on crying, sun not even out yet. And this episode, the finale, it broke me, but in the best possible way. And plot twist, it's not really over because they just announced that we're getting a movie. So yeah, this might be the end of the series, but it's not goodbye forever. Still, this episode felt like a love letter to the fans. It gave us closure, it gave us growth, it gave us peace, and I have a lot to say. So let's talk about the breakups that didn't happen, the kisses maybe we didn't expect, and the transformation of Belly into Isabelle. Chapter 1, Taylor and Steven, the almost breakup. First of all, Jenny Han, don't play with my heart like that, because after episode 10, I was convinced that Taylor and Steven were locked in. They live together, they love each other, and it's solid, untouchable. But then episode 11 hits, and suddenly Steven about to move to San Francisco with Denise because their startup got funded, and he hasn't told Taylor yet. And I was so stressed, like sick to my stomach, stressed. But I will give Taylor a little grace with how she handled it when they finally had a conversation. The way Taylor handled it, iconic. She told him straight up,
nobody makes me do anything.
She moved to Boston because she wanted to, because she values their relationship, and because she believed in them. She wasn't mad about the opportunity, that he made the decision for her of assuming that she wouldn't. She was mad that he didn't consult her, that he made the decision for her, assuming that she wouldn't move to a different state for him. And honestly, she reminded all of us, choosing love doesn't mean losing your independence. She moved for love and for herself, and that's something we rarely see in young female characters. Chapter 2, Jeremiah and Denise. She's all that, but make it bookish. Okay, I had two predictions going into this finale. 1, Denise and Jeremiah were gonna kiss. 2, or they'd end up together. Because let's be real, this trope, nerdy, smart girl crushing on the golden retriever jock best friend, it's giving She's All That if you've ever watched that movie, because she thinks he'd never seen her that way, but the truth is he's just been blind to what's right in front of him. So when they kissed and Denise said,
"No, I can't believe Nepo Baby is kissing me,"
I was done. It was cute, full circle, and it low-key revealed how she sees herself as someone he'd never pick, but she is someone that he'd pick, and he finally did. Jeremiah found someone who sees him, not his brother, not what he's not, just him. Chapter 3, Jeremiah and Adam, the role reversal we needed. Woo, this one hit deep. Jeremiah used to chase his dad's approval like it was oxygen, begging for attention, craving acknowledgement. But now he's avoiding Adam completely. And Adam, he's chasing him. He shows up to the tasting event, not necessarily invited by Jeremiah, but Laurel. And he brings champagne that was originally for Jeremiah and Belly's wedding. And Jeremiah calls it out.
I brought champagne from my wedding.
There's tension, there's awkwardness, there's some hurt there because Adam still doesn't get it. He's trying, but he's not reading the room. The wedding, the rejection, the comparison to Conrad. But then there's a moment. Jeremiah says, "You've never told me that you were proud of me." And Adam says, I've always been proud of you. I just thought you knew. No, Adam, that's not how it works. And this show gets that. It shows how parents assume while kids carry wounds that they never learned how to name. That moment, that emotional gap between love and expression was so real. And here's the thing. Adam probably knows he can't rely on Conrad. Their relationship is strained, complicated. But Jeremiah's close. He's accessible. He's the more open-hearted son, the one who's always been easier to talk to. And now, Adam's finally showing up for him. Chapter 4, Belly and Conrad. Let's talk about the moment. Conrad in Paris, unannounced. He shows up the day before her birthday, sees her on a scooter with Benito, new haircut, new friends, a whole new Isabelle. And even with all that change, the chemistry is still so there. They're touring the city, mostly in silence. There's some awkwardness and tension in some scenes, but there's also familiarity between the two. It's like they've been apart for a year, but nothing's changed, and everything has. Then comes the kiss, the moment, they make love. Everything they've been building toward, finally. But then Belly spirals. She asks,
What if you only love me because that's what your mom wanted and then your mom died?
and my heart broke because that is self-sabotage. That's the voice that says you don't deserve this, that convinces you it's not real, that you're not enough. Poor Conrad is pouring his soul out to her, telling her he loves her, telling her that this matters. But she pushes him away and he leaves. And for a second, it feels like this might be the end. Chapter 5, the train station. She ran. Then comes the scene that took my breath away. Belly gets a birthday text with a picture of her younger self. That little girl, the one who always followed her heart. She remembers her and she realizes she still loves Conrad. She's always loved him. So she runs. She runs down the stairs, into the street, catches a cab, runs to the train station, and tells him when she finds him that in every lifetime, I choose you. They kiss, and for the first time in the entire show, there's no triangle, there's no fear, no back and forth, just choosing each other, finally. Chapter 6, Isabelle not Belly anymore. Let's talk about the evolution, because the show is called The Summer I Turned Pretty, but this episode, this was about Isabelle. At her birthday dinner, one of her friends passes her a joint and she smokes, not because of pressure, not to impress anyone, but because she chooses to. Compare that to earlier in season 3, where she hated when Jeremiah smoked. She scolded him and she didn't like the idea of it. But now, she's grown, she's experimenting, she's learning to choose for herself. And Conrad sees that too. He even says,
Do you want me to call you Isabelle now?
she's not just Belly anymore. Isabelle is the version of her who lived alone in Paris, who figured it out all alone, who found herself, who grew up. And that growth, it was necessary. Chapter 7, Coming Home. Together at last. After everything, the tears, the years, the triangle, Belly and Conrad finally return to cousins, but this time it's different. It's just them. And this is where it hit me. They don't walk in with everyone else. There's no Jeremiah, no Laurel. It's just them. We've never actually seen them walk into that house together as a unit. Not in season 1 when Belly liked him, but he kept pulling away. Not in season 2 when things were messy and fragile and Belly was navigating her relationship with Jeremiah. And definitely not in season 3, earlier in the season when she was engaged to be married to Jeremiah. And Conrad could barely even look her in the eye at one point. Every entrance before this one carried something heavy: tension, distance, secrets, regret. But now they walk in hand. There's no guilt, no what ifs, no running. Just love, just choice. Not Belly and the boy she dreamed of, but Isabelle and the boy who always loved her. Maybe that's what this whole series has been building toward. Not just a love story, but two people who finally stopped running from themselves so they could walk forward together. If you'd love to see more deep dives like this, unpacking psychology, character arcs, and storytelling through a personal lens, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, and stay tuned for the next episode in this series. Thanks for watching.